I think that is one of the biggest lessons I've had over the years, is that I'm allowed to take time to make something. That it's nice that you can do something fast and sufficient and neat, and that's fabulous, but you're allowed to take your time. And if someone says, oh my God, how can you embroider for 4 months on something? Like, you can just put it in a machine and it will do it for you. It's like, no, I'm allowed to take the time, even if I take 3 years to make it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, that's how masterpieces evolve. And I completely agree with what you say. And I think I've observed this here in my training, or during my training on Savile Row. One of the things I noticed was that a lot of tailors, they were rushed into, or forced to rush the production of the garments they were creating. And for whatever reason, a lot of them accepted being pushed into rushing things. And that happened so often that it had become a normal thing for any cutter or company to go to a tailor and say, here's a bundle, we need it in 3 days. And then, and the tailor would just say yes a lot of times. And unfortunately, it's weird because the things that you are making and the things that other people, the similar things that they are making, they don't just fall into like an easy category of, like you say, 17 pajamas in 1 hour. That's a very different category. And for something to really reach a high level of excellence, time is required. And it's a struggle, I think, of ideas, perhaps, to see which one should be. You know, should the tailor accept, or should someone like you accept a project that has to take 1 day, or should they be like, no, the minimum is XYZ, and these are the standards that I'd like to uphold.
I do. Sorry.
No, please continue. I'd like to know your thoughts.
This is why I do a few different things. So I work for myself. I make commissions for people. Then on the side of that, I also make whatever the hell I want, and with no purpose, no nothing. Just I want to make something, and I'm diving in, and I'm taking 3 years to make something. I don't, it's okay. Yeah. And like next to that, I also take on work for this fashion house, and sometimes also other like fashion designers. Where it is very much like, we want this look, here's the fabric, we want it tomorrow or yesterday, if you could, and we like it so much, can you also make it in red? And it all needs to be done like at the end of the week. I do that because I like to push my limits sometimes. I really feel sometimes that when I'm at my absolute busiest, where I think, I can't take on another thing, is when I feel most alive. Like the adrenaline, the stress, the impossibility. Like you get a fabric and you think, how am I going to make this out of that? It's never been done. I don't know if I can do it. And here I am doing it. And the end result is what they have asked. I have been learning to let go of like traditional ways of thinking of how something has to be made. It has to be made like this. That's how I've been taught. There is no other way to get a good result but this exact method. And then I think, but there has to be another way, because I only have 2 days, so I don't have time to do it how it's supposed to. But how can I achieve that in less time? I like to give my brain that kind of exercise, but I don't like to do that full time, which is why I'm not employed by any of these people full time, because I think I would work myself to death. That just would not be a good thing. And when it comes to someone saying, okay, I want that embroidery, but you have 2 weeks to make it. Like, I know that if I push myself, I could do something like that, but I won't. I won't. That's where I say, okay, this is my area of expertise. This needs more time. This is just not possible. And there's a reason why it's not possible, because it needs to be made with attention to detail. It can't be rushed. Yeah. And then on the side of that, I also teach. So I teach sewing classes and corsetry classes to people.
You have two businesses, you said.
Yeah. So I have the corsetry making business, and then also like a little sewing school where I just teach all different people different skills of tailoring, sewing, corsetry, and everything. Yeah.
Would you say that how important has it been for you to have your own business, but also have the skills necessary to actually develop your business and make sure that it's steady and stable and always prospering in the way that you want it to be?
I think finding a balance for yourself is always a good thing. So that I think the versatility makes me less able to get bored with one thing or another, because I can switch it and when I need to. I think it is so important to pass on knowledge and to not just keep it for yourself, but to share it with others. And like my biggest struggle when I was living in the Netherlands, I was looking for a teacher, someone to tell me how to make it. And I had to become my own teacher for very many years. And at a certain point, I also became too shy to ask other people for help or tips or tricks or anything.
Why?
I think part of it is my character. I have to admit. And also, I think part of that character is also that if you haven't struggled yourself to get to where you want to be, you cannot say you've done it. So what I see a lot of me is that. So this is maybe just a bit too much, but what I see a lot around me is people hitting the help button before they even think about a solution.
Yes.
So I see that in my teaching as well. Someone will say, how do I do this? Here, you do it. You know how to do it. So you insert the zip, for instance. And I say, okay, well, I know how to do it. I've been practicing for many years, so I know how to do it. But you're here in class to learn how to do it yourself.
How to work it out.
Yeah. So, and then I can show them 10 different ways on how to do this. But what I will ask them is that, how do you think it's being done? And why would you do it like that? I try to make them use their own noodle instead of quickly pressing the help button. And I think because, and it's not like withholding information or anything, but making them just try to think about it, because it makes them understand a lot more about why do things in a certain way.
Yeah,
it makes you be able to problem solve a lot better as well. So so I learned from many different books. I've seen many different techniques. I've tried to find a teacher, and I couldn't really find anyone that was willing to share their knowledge without fear of me taking all their secrets and just making money out of that, or taking credit for something they have obviously also fought and struggled to obtain. So yeah, I've been my own teacher for a very long time, and that also means you're reinventing the wheel a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And I think there might have been easier ways for me to get where I am, but if I hadn't done it this way, I wouldn't know as much as I do now. And I also now know there's just so much more to learn that I'm also going to explore.